In our latest draft analysis of the play-in stage, we have Brazilian fan favorites Loud Esports take on European play-in leaders Fnatic. I think even great teams can be taken down by simple mistakes in setting up team compositions, and I think that this game was actually a great example of this. There were some very ambitious draft setups here, and I really do think it ended up being punishing in the end. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to sub for more content like this. Let's hop into the draft. To start things off, let's move on to the Phase 1 bans. Loud ban out Kalista, Victor, and LeBlanc, while Fnatic end up banning Yuumi, Seraphine, and Hecarim. The Victor ban is likely specifically done here because Humanoid has been really showing good proficiency on the champion, and it's become a problem to the point where it has higher priority in their eyes than normal. I personally don't think it's such a problem champion that it requires a ban, but it is what it is. I also noticed a bit of a trend in Fnatic's bans, as they're one of the only teams that specifically target a Seraphine ban here. This opens up the MF matchup specifically, but also could just be a hedge against the style of play that LLL likes to go for. Seraphine is known to go the cringe wave clear style and loves slow team fighting, so my guess that Fnatic want to pinch that style of play specifically. The Yuumi is kind of a similar vein here since it's not present enough that every team wants to ban it right now, but against teams that want to play that style, it can be quite annoying. Basically, Fnatic know what they want with these bans and are out to shape the draft in their favor. B1 comes out and Loud take Aatrox as pretty much expected. There are a lot of things open right now up though. We've got Caitlyn open, Fiora open, Graves is available, we got the Maokai up, even the Kali can be taken here. Fnatic opt to take Caitlyn here, which is one of the rarest availabilities right now, as it's typically banned extremely often, as well as Sejuani. The only caveat with the Caitlyn pick right now is that it's relatively fragile, especially with matchups like Misfortune available. Loud also takes Sylas right now and want the increased game pace that it offers. Fnatic responded with the Kali to match, although technically it is a flex, it's most likely going mid to match Sylas. The main flag about this draft after Phase 1 is that Fnatic wanted to prioritize a lot of things, but a pairing with Caitlyn was not actually one of them. If I'm Loud at this point, it is a very easy use of my Phase 2 bans in order to get rid of the Caitlyn pairings. They oblige and ban out Lux and Morgana. Fnatic used their bans to delete some of the best pairings with MF here, so Nautilus gets deleted here, and Trundle too, surprisingly. I think this is a very risky move by Fnatic to just allow these Caitlyn pairings to get removed, but at this point I'm hoping that they had some sort of plan around that. For R4, Fiora has somehow been let through at the draft at this point, so it's actually pretty good that Fnatic are able to lock down such a good matchup in a blind pick slot. Normally I would be concerned that you have to invest resources in both Fiora and Caitlyn here, but since the matchup is so easy for Fiora to play, it's not too much of a struggle and Fiora can still win without resources. This does also mean that they can use their last pick to secure as good of a support matchup as possible. The only problem with this is that Caitlyn lanes are all about securing the high priority pairings in order to dominate lane, and there aren't too many picks remaining that can lock that down. There's some things like Thresh and Karma available, but these things are not as powerful compared to the traditional Caitlyn pairings, I'd say. Even Ronaldo is pretty decent here, but overall I'd say all of these picks are not insanely great. Because of this, there aren't that many options available anymore, so I'm not sure how much they can utilize this Caitlyn pick right now. Loud used their B4, B5 to commit into securing two good picks to supplement the team fighting in their comp. Amumu is a classic pick in support to start things off, and Maokai rounds the comp as their facilitator pick. Fnatic used their R5 to actually lock in Braum, and although it makes sense on paper since Loud's comp is so focused on engage, this isn't necessarily worth it because it indicates that Caitlyn has to play relatively defensive and not to her style. I think this is the biggest issue with this draft. Fnatic did not give the respect that this pick deserves, and it pretty much removed the strengths that it has. I also think it's a pretty easy issue to fix, as they could have just swapped out one of the picks in B2, B3 for the Lux pick, and that would have been golden. With Braum, it's much harder for the Caitlyn to actually get a major advantage in lane, and the fact that it has been put in a position where it actually needs to play relatively defensive with Braum is, in my eyes, a losing position. Because of this, I believe that Loud comes out on top of this draft in spite of a really bad matchup on top side, and I rated 60-40 in favor of Loud. I do think this was a great example of how even greater teams in the play-ins right now, like Fnatic, can still fall due to a small draft fumble like this. One misstep can take down the greatest of teams and really not give them any room to show their flexibility in their play, and I'd say this is exactly the case here. As always though, hopefully this video was insightful to you guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. Stay fresh.